Alright, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson. So this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while now, like at least several months. And because of situation coming up, again, I decided to go ahead and forth and talk about it. So I want to talk about Gina Carano. It seems like anytime you go to a greatest of all time discussion in women's mixed martial arts, within like the first 3 to 4 comments, someone mentions Gina Carano. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, SureDog. Anytime a greatest of all time discussion comes up for the women, within the first 3 to 4 comments, someone's going to mention Gina Carano. And honestly, I just don't get it. Well, I kind of do, and I'll get to that at the end. But as far as like actual greatness goes, I just do not see it in Gina Carano. Okay? And I'm going to back this up here, okay? So you take her record. She had 8 fights total, and she went 7-1. So she only had 8 fights. It's kind of hard to argue for her greatness in such a short career. Okay? Especially considering she lost her last fight. Okay, now, she fought in like 4 different catchweight fights that were made for her at 140 pounds. There is no 140-pound weight class, so they made these catchweight fights just for her. It started in Elite XC and then went to, I think, Strikeforce for one fight. She fought in like 4 of these catchweight fights, and she missed weight in 3 of them. So how great can you be if you're constantly missing weight in catchweights that were created just for you? They should have had her fighting at featherweight from the beginning. I don't know why. And then she fought bantamweights and 1 flyweight in those 4 catchweights, like 3 bantamweights, and then Rossi Sexton is a natural flyweight fighter. Now you could say, well, fighters have to take what fight they can get back then. Yeah, for Rossi Sexton, she had to take what she could get. For Gina Carano, with Elite XC and then Strikeforce pushing her, they could have found, some featherweight fighters for her to fight. They chose not to. So she fought 4 bantamweights and a flyweight in those catchweights. And then, moving on to when she finally did fight featherweights, she only fought 2 legit featherweight fights. And she went 1-1 in those. Okay, she beat Caitlin Young, which at the time was a legit win. I think Caitlin was undefeated at the time. Let me check here real quick. Caitlin Young was 4-1 at the time, and Gina won via doctor stoppage. I think due to a cut. I can't remember exactly. It doesn't say. So she beat Caitlin Young and then went back to catchweight to fight Kelly Cobold, who was a bantamweight. That was probably the best record on paper on Carano's record as well, is that Kelly Cobold fight. Cobold was 17-2-1 at the time, and Gina was 6-0. And then she went back up to featherweight to fight for the vacant strawweight title, vacant featherweight title against Cyborg. So, and then she lost. And then she quit. I mean, she took 1 loss, quit, and ran away from the sport. I mean, granted, hey, she left for fame and money. I really don't blame her for that. I mean, that's nothing against her personally, but it's definitely an argument against her being in any argument for greatest of all time. Okay? So she racks up 6-7 wins, takes 1 loss, and quits the sport completely. How does that make for a greatest of all time? And her best record, her best win was against a bantamweight at a catchweight she actually made weight for that. She weighed in at 141 on the dot. So she finally made weight for a catchweight fight against a bantamweight fighter and won. So, really not a very strong record. I mean, look, I'm going to say it straight out. The only reason anyone argues about her as a great as one of the greats is due to her looks, okay? Her looks and her popularity was largely due to her looks, okay? Look, Gina Carano was a pretty fighter. That's easy to... There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She's attractive. That's mostly why she's remembered. And that's why she's remembered. I mean, that's why she's still so popular, is because of her looks. And a lot of people, when they claim her as one of the greats, they always ensure to throw in a weigh-in picture of her. Anyway, I want to say, look, she's not a great. She's not one of the greats, okay? I mean, look, if you want to say that she's a pioneer for the women's divisions and brought attention to the ladies, that's fine. I'll give you that. I will add a caveat, though, that it's also arguable that she hurt the women's divisions as well by quitting as soon as she loses. I mean, that definitely did not help. If you think about it, back when she was fighting, Dana White in the UFC was saying there's no way women's will ever be added. And what happened with Gina did not help the women at all. You know, the fact that the first woman to really bring attention takes one loss and quits. And she lost to Cyborg, who then went on to get busted for steroids, which made the women look even worse. Granted, that was mostly Cyborg's doing, but Gina losing to Cyborg didn't help either. So anyway, at the end of the day, is Gina Carano the GOAT? Hell no. Is she a candidate for greatness? No, I do not see it at all. And that's my honest opinion on this. If you think differently, hey, let me know in the comments down below. And what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.